Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Basically, that means that every individual human being that's on the face of the earth is entitled to basic human rights. And what are those basic human rights? Those things that are natural, that gives you the opportunity to experience your presence here as though you are in the best place you could ever be. And you are fun with it and loving it to the max. That's what basic human rights are all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here also today because I want to share with you that we are not, and I'm sure you already know that, in that experience. And I want you to know, on top of what you already know, why. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is, how do you get out of it? How do you get to that place that you want to be? That's the question. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to bring a few things to your mind to acquaint you with the realities that exist today. My subject, if I were going to choose one, would be humanity's failure. I'm talking about all of the people, all of those people who got these basic human rights. Your failure as living, deserving, but denying. Now, I'd like to draw a little focus on some of the things that's happening in certain places. Now, we know and are well aware of what's happening in Ukraine. We know that the Russians are doing everything they possibly can to prove that they are the power that would make men bend, that would make men give their souls. And if they have to go to the extent of killing their mothers and their fathers and their babies, and those who are in the hospital or in maternity wards, they'll kill anything to prove their power. And what is that power? Who is that power blessing? Is it blessing those who are dying? Of course. Of course not. Are they asking for it? Of course not. So to them, it's evil. And if it's evil, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from the pit of hell being generated through whomever supports it. That's something. But it didn't just stop there. I just mentioned Ukraine. The same things are going on. A little bit in Sri Lanka. I had a chance to visit that while I was in the Navy, but it's happening also in Pakistan. Evil running rampant. That Russian mouthpiece for evil. It's happening also in the United States of America. That same kind of evil. Humanity doing this to each other. So destined and distant from the place that I've just got through explaining to you. We have other crises that are formulating. We're talking about the borders now. We're talking about the crises that are going on in all of these places, and people don't want to be around these things, so what are they doing? They're running, they're picking up their bags. If they can do anything to get away, to escape this hell, they're trying to go. But when they get to these borders, they got laws over there that say, well, you can't come here. We got enough people. We can't support you. Go someplace else. Ooh. Now, who can turn their backs on someone that's asking for help? Who can turn their backs on them? Evil can. Why? Because it plays into evil. It helps evil to say, you do what I say or you won't have to go through this. And if you don't do what I say, you will find yourself not allowing others to come in. You'll be knocking at the door, asking somebody to allow you to come in. That's evil. What a threat. What a threat. It has nothing to do with the opposite. It's a terrible thing, ladies and gentlemen. And all across the world, we're having to deal with prices. We have to deal with the prices of gas and the prices of food and the prices of shortages. We have to deal with all of these kinds of things, ladies and gentlemen. We have to deal with scams. Everybody trying to take advantage of whatever situation exists that they can get their hands in and take what out of it that they can that's sufficient enough to get them over the border and over the waters, or any additional amounts that might even allow them to be able to create spaceships and go all up in the stratosphere somewhere and just do their thing while people are still lying on the streets, still killed, and nobody picked up their bodies yet, or standing on the corner with a sign saying, help the poor. All of these things, this is humanity's failure. And we start thinking about how some places, like even in America, where you have people who have violated the rules. Everybody knows that they're violated, and they're waiting for certain elected officials to take care of the business which they have been elected to do, and find out that by the time they take care of it, they've allowed that evil to stay in operation for so long, it's spread it everywhere. So now when you come to prosecute, it's doing no good. It's like me going to the doctor saying, doctor, is there anything wrong with me? Do I have any cancer? And they look and say, well, we might see a little lesion there, but we're not certain. So I tell you, we give you this appointment. Now, this appointment is a few months ahead of now. Or then you miss the appointment, or you go and they say, well, come back and make you 3 or 4 months ahead again. But why? Now, why are they putting you ahead? Because you could bet your last money what it takes to get them to move faster, you must not have it. Because if you had it, they'll put you in front of the line. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the same things that people kill for, the same things that people lie for and steal for. I'm talking about MONEY. But when the damage is done, they come back and they say, oh, well, he got cancer, but now we can't do anything about it because it's spread it all over his body. So he's destined to die. That's what happens in all countries that does not take care of the problems that exist, that cancerousness, that's whether it's hatred and racism and bigotry, whether it's poverty and crime and violence. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, when you're sick, some bandages don't work. Most of the things that they want to do is pretend like they're concerned. We're going to see if we can give you more cops. Excuse me. If we can make the laws harder, see if we can give people more time in jail. And all of these things throughout history has proven that it has done nothing to acquiesce the involvement that individuals find themselves in. It doesn't do a thing. That cancer still express. It keeps on growing in the nation. All of a sudden, those who have accepted it take this as part of normal. People going to jail, normal, standing there forever, normal, and the crimes keep growing, and the system keeps going. The cancer of the system keeps spreading and spreading and spreading. But what usually happens, ladies and gentlemen, is this: sometimes it's going to come to an end. You know, because cancer has a final effect. It takes your butt out of here, no doubt about that. And a nation that's sinful, all of its existence is rotten to the core. And eventually, what do you think happened to Russia? What do you think to all of these dynasties that used to exist that don't exist anymore? If you studied the history that they gave you, I'm sure they're going to leave a lot of stuff out, but you'll be able to have enough information to to decipher what's really happening. And they are no more. Or you might find them trying to build back up again, but as it is, they are no more. And this is what is in line for America right now. You can see it all around you, ladies and gentlemen. Evil has come to America. It's been here all the time. It's been festering around, just waiting for that power force to come through. What I mean by that power force, the one who is able to express evil in such a degree that it makes the evil people who've been evil feel like they're kind of good. But at the same time, they're evil, so they're not going to build up nothing on the good. They're joining the more evil. And see, that's what's happening in America. We talk about slavery. We talk about what was done to the natives. We talk about people having no rights to vote, no voice or anything. And now they're trying to go back to that because they got nothing to offer about life. Nothing at all. So what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is basically saying to you that we as human beings got an option. This life that we are living is taking us straight to hell. And what we have been taught is not doing anything to free us from this ignorance and this stupidity. It is as it is. But that doesn't mean it has got to always be that way. Chances are it will. It never saved any of these other nations. They all went down in the hole. So what is to make you not go down in the hole? Nothing. The truth. And you're not going to accept the truth. So the message that I come to you is not to change this nation, even though I wish it would. I mean, everybody who was born again would wish it would. But now I want to tell you, you're blessed if you can get yourself straight. You can get yourself straight. This is why they call it the straight and narrow. Because there's all of this stuff out here trying to get people together, make people do right. The devil has won this game. The challenge has always been man exists. Evil exists. Righteousness exists. But who will overcome evilness or righteousness? Someone might say righteousness, evil say no way. Why? Because in order to exist on this plane, you're talking about living, I got to permit you to live. Why? Because even though you're here, I will take you out. That's what evil says. I will kill you. And nobody wants to die because they really don't know what's happening on the other side. And yet at the same time, life says, I'll take that chance. And so what we do, we live our lives, my friend. And we fight wars. We do all kinds of things trying to continue to live. We hate each other. We divide ourselves from each other. Why? Because we want to live. And then we have people come along who have seen something different. They walk according to the dictates of that, and they become the most dangerous people on the face of the earth, not because they're trying to destroy the earth, but because they're trying to revive the earth and give them an opportunity and the people an opportunity to live and be expressive of that almighty heavenliness that I've been speaking about. And in your heart, you already know about, because you've been hoping for it, but too afraid to step out on faith. So what am I saying to this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying this. If you look at all the wars that have been fought, all of the things that have gone on in this nation, who have been recognized the most evil people, but even they get wiped down? Who have been given more adulation than any, as far as we know, here in America, in the West, is Jesus Christ. What for? Because he cared. He cared. He committed himself to the cause of life. And what happened? The devil came to him and said, you got a chance, bro. You want to live? You want to enjoy all of this? This is my world. Now, to enjoy all of this, you got to let me control you. But the message tells us that Jesus said, no, wait, Jose. And you know the rest of the story. You can feed it as you desire. But what did it lead to? It led to evil saying, I'm going to shut you down. And what happened? Took his life. But as he took his life, the message is spread all over the land. It might be a little corrupted based upon people putting their hands on it, but it's still the message. And it serves the purpose of some. Now, even though you think that he never existed, the truth of the matter is it's not whether he existed, it's the message that's in the story, whether it's real or not. Same as Santa Claus. We say Santa Claus doesn't exist, but he comes around every Christmas. You see Santa Claus doing what Santa Claus does. And so for us to take advantage of the truth of life, we have to express it within ourselves, not what somebody else is saying. So when you get all of these packed buildings and all of these big cathedrals with people singing songs talking about how much they are into this faith, how much they love this and how much they love that, and when they walk out of that building, you see people hungry. You see people who can't pay their rent. You see people suffering all kinds of things. What did they learn? They did not learn a thing. So this is an individual thing. And whoever learns the truth, you know it because they walk according to the truth. And it is that truth that sets them free. It is that truth that gives them the ability to stand up in any situation and be who and what they are. And they shine like the sun in a cloudy sky. That cloudy sky is the people whose minds are corrupted and can't, but the sun is still shining. I want to say that, but most of all, ladies and gentlemen, here's again, I want to say to you is this. Me, why am I so confident in what I'm saying? I've learned the secret. And I'm sharing this secret with you. Me, myself, I've lived my lifespan. I've lived my lifespan. There's no big excitement about tomorrow. If it can't happen today, there's no big excitement about tomorrow. There is nothing new that would impress me except the change of the society in which we live. And I don't deceive myself. I'm not playing games with you or myself. I know that's not going to happen. But the thing that really makes me feel comfortable is that my friends, I'm not trying to get any older than I am. And I know that the thing that if the almighty power allow me to continue to exist through these crises here, it will require that the most evilness must come for me. But in order for that evil to rise up and get me, I got to do the most righteous thing I can do. I'm ready, ladies and gentlemen. I am ready. Over 70-some years to live here and commit myself and promise that I will never, ever try to, that fantastic life everybody want to live. Do what you want to, when you want to, all that kind of stuff. Promise myself I'll never try to seek that until we as a people can all do it together. We can all, like a big part of the human party, humanity's partying, life. We've born again. That's what I want. That's not going to happen. So I don't want anybody telling me, well, since that's not going to happen, come over here and join this team. Nope, that team, I've been there. I know where that team is going. It's going nowhere. And so here I am. Here I am. Now here's one thing you must keep in mind. The challenge is this. To all human beings, the challenge is this. Whatever's happening in life, I'm going to boil it down to this right here. The control of life. If Satan says to you, if you don't be obedient to the rules and regulations of the society. They'll do any and everything to bring you down, even kill you. And righteousness says, there's nothing you can do that make me imitate you. And you're willing to die. That is the proof you're willing to die. That's why we talk about Jesus. That's why we talk about Martin Luther King. That's why we talk about all those others. And that's why we'll talk about you if you walk according to the principles. And all of the billions who you never heard of again because they did not walk according to the principles. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is humanity's failure. And if you can work fast and quick, it could be humanity's victory. But however, don't worry about that, because you got one person to be responsible for, and that's you. Next time, Eddie Marcus say, goodbye.